Welcome back to another video. Sorry I haven't uploaded in a while. I've been a little busy, but I have been thinking about how I wanted to structure the rest of the C series. And I know I say rest even though I've only put one, but either or, I did think about it, and I have a plan now, so I'm gonna try to upload more frequently. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Alright, so as you might see, I have Sublime Text pulled up in my web browser, and I also have Visual Studios pulled up as well. So now what I want to cover in this video is getting you a setup in which you can see code, in which you can make sure that your compiler is working, that you even have a compiler, and that you're going to be able to follow along if you wish, or just have it ready whenever you want to use it. But yeah, so these are two of the text editors I personally like to use. I've used others, but these are my favorite. Until recently, about a year ago, my preferred text editor is Visual Studio Code. But when I first started, I think Sublime Text is a wonderful text editor to use. And I guess I can go pros and cons of both really quick. So Sublime Text, in my opinion, it's fairly simple to use, very user-friendly. You can kind of see right here, and you just have your file structure, and then you have your tabs. Your tabs as in files. That's pretty much it. And then it has like the common, like where it shows you if you click this word, and it'll show you all the occurrences. Then you have your side panels. You can split. Kind of not too much. And I think this is really important when you're first starting out, because you don't want to be overwhelmed with so much of everything. And I feel like that's where Visual Studios could be a little bit weird, because Visual Studios is really helpful. You got a whole, it basically has everything into one, and you can kind of see right here, IntelliSense, run and debug, built-in Git, extensions, and you can just keep adding on and doing so much. So that's like pretty much the quick rundown, in my opinion, of why for this series, if you're new, you might want to lean towards using Sublime Text, and as you get more comfortable, switching over to something more powerful like Visual Studio Code. But yeah, so regardless of the system you're using, right now here I'm using Mac, so that's why kind of everything's going to be towards Mac. Visual Studios as well. Download Mac Universal. But yeah, take your pick. So with that out the way, what I want to do first is, if you're in Mac, of course, and if you have not programmed before ever, you might want to go into your Spotlight and just type in terminal, like so. You're gonna want to hit enter, and now you should get a terminal box like this, and it should be pointing into your to your user directory or your home directory. And if you don't already, you might want to pin this to your I think it's your taskbar on the very bottom. I don't know what it's called, but you can see right here, where is it, terminal. You can just click it and just pop up. But yeah, so what we're gonna want to do is pull that up, and especially if you're a Mac user, you want to follow along. First things first, after you've downloaded a text editor, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to confirm that you indeed have access to like a compiler, So I'm going to run, actually, no, I forgot. I was going to show you this one. So what I'm actually going to run is this little command right here. So you're going to want to do xcode select -- install. You're gonna run it. You're not gonna get the same thing unless you already have it installed, but basically I already have it installed, which is why I'm getting this error. Command line tools already installed. If I want, I can run the updates, but if you're new and you haven't done it, you're definitely gonna want to run this command. Same thing. It's from the developer website, and all this is gonna do is basically gonna give you a bunch of cool stuff, and you're also gonna be able to get a Clang compiler, and you kind of see what I mean by that. If I type, Clang, was it not Clang? Clang version. There we go. And you're gonna see right here, basically this is what you want, ideally, whenever you run. And you're gonna see right here, we're gonna use the GCC compiler, and we can just double check with the version, and it matches up. Configured Apple Clang version 13.0. Yours might be different, might be not. But yeah, you can see command line tools. That's why we're installing command line tools. But yeah, pretty straightforward. Just you pretty much just need a text editor and a compiler. So with that out the way, let's jump into Sublime Text. Alright, so really quick, what you're going to be seeing here is, so to the left, this is my Sublime Text editor that I just opened up. I'm not sure what yours is going to look like if you have not opened it, if it's your first time opening it, but I'm pretty sure it should be something very, very similar to this. You're going to have basically just a text file. And over here to my right, I have my terminal, which I showed you how to pull up, and I just made it big over here on the side so you can kind of follow along. But our main display of interest right now, or a little box of interest, is going to be the actual text editor. And now, don't worry, what I'm about to write, it's just kind of to confirm that you have a GCC compiler, you have your compiler all good and set. And so we're going to do the standard hello world in C. So if you want to follow along, just make sure your compiler works. This is definitely the stepping stone in entering the world of C. So as I mentioned, just do an include, and then followed by two parentheses, quotation marks, and we're going to do stdio.h. Now, right now, really quick, std standard, and then followed by input output, then h file, which is a header file, which is where we're going to pull some information from there. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. For right now, just go with the flow. So now we're going to do an int main, and then inside just do a little void. And now this is where the fun stuff is. We're going to do a print f. Actually, before we do that, let's save this file. As you can see, it's all white and whatnot. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to navigate into a folder of your choice. I already created actually two, but I already created one, which is C practice, and just name it whatever you want. So I'm going to name this one practice.c. Now you have to have the C extension for it to be a C file. So name it whatever you want, followed by .c, and into a folder that you want. And now folders basically just so you don't have clutter of stuff going everywhere. So we're going to go ahead and save, and in our terminal we're actually going to change directory into our desired folder, and for me that is as so. Just run a quick ls to confirm that we have our practice.c, and we do. And actually I think my screen's a little bit too small, so let's do an ls, and there you go. You can see practice.c, and you can see over here that our file now practice.c got really colorful, and we're gonna get a couple of cool things. So we're gonna type print f, and you can already see that we're getting some recommendations of what is thinking that we're gonna type next. And we do want print f. You can see right here. We're actually not gonna use any of these right now, but we are gonna use this another quotation mark, and we're gonna go in and say hello world. You can do exclamation marks, whatever you want, right? Over here on the bottom, we're just gonna return 0, just for good measures. Save your file. Now over here, as I mentioned before, make sure that you have GCC. You can kind of do this one on Mac, GCC version, actually wrong one, gcc.v. Okay, we have a Clang version 13.0 and all that. So now we're just gonna do GCC followed by the name of the file we want to compile. So in my case, it is practice.c. For your case, it might be something else, but just follow GCC followed by practice.c. We're gonna run that. Now we're gonna hit ls one more time and see if it compiled. And in this case it did. We got an a.out, and we still have our practice.c. So now to actually run the code, we're gonna wanna do a /, and that's just saying stay in the current directory, followed by the file we wanna call, which is, in our case, it's a.out. All right, so this is gonna run, and you can confirm it if it comes out with hello world. We can do a simple modification just so you can kind of see how to go about looking at your code. We're gonna do a backslash and then a n, and that should basically just a new line, and we're gonna see the difference again. So if I run this, we're gonna get the same thing because we haven't compiled. We need to compile for our changes to take effect. So gcc practice.c, go back to a.out, and what is the difference here? So if you look carefully, we have the % sign over here, and that just means that we added a new line, and basically the % is now on the bottom. If we add another one, you can kind of see what it does, follow the same thing. Do this a couple times. I know it takes a while, but you can see the changes taking effect. We can change it up. We can do a /t, and that'll be a tab. We can do something else on the other line. Save. Over here, gcc practice a.out, and we can see that the changes reflect what's going on. So yeah, play around with it if you want. Go crazy. But in the next video, we're actually going to start jumping into more technical stuff. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching, and have a nice rest of your day.